Memory. It's the key to our identity.
Without memory, we are nothing.
It's who we are.
Memory hackers. Right now.
The closer we look at the New American Bible, the worse it seems. In an earlier installment on this playlist, we noted that the New American Bible undercuts Catholic teaching on the sinfulness of birth control. And we noted that Pope Pius XI said, "The conjugal act is destined primarily by nature for the begetting of children. Those who in exercising it deliberately frustrate its natural power and purpose sin against nature and commit a deed which is shameful and intrinsically vicious." As St. Augustine notes, intercourse, even with one's legitimate wife, is unlawful and wicked where the conception of offspring is prevented. Onan, the son of Judah, did this, and the Lord killed him for it. St. Augustine is referring to this verse, which is faithfully translated in the douay-rheims Bible. He, meaning Onan, knowing that the children should not be his, when he went in to his brother's wife, spilled his seed upon the ground, lest children should be born in his brother's name. And therefore the Lord slew him, because he did a detestable thing. The teaching authority of the Church has clearly interpreted this verse, but without any word of protest by the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops, the New American Bible defies the Church's dogmatic teaching with a seemingly heretical footnote that says Onan was killed for not preserving his brother's line. It says, "Preserve your brother's line." It literally means raise up seed for your brother, an allusion to the law of the Levi rite, or brother-in-law marriage. Onan's violation of this law brought on him God's punishment. So, if you're using a Bible to evangelize and speak out against birth control, is the New American Bible going to be of much use to you? Are there better options? Catholic teaching against birth control doesn't rest entirely on this one verse in Genesis. There are also verses in Tobias, which, strangely, the New American Bible has renamed as Tobit. "For they who in such a manner receive matrimony as to shut out God from themselves and from their mind, and to give themselves to their lust, as the horse and mule which have not understanding, over them the devil has power. But thou, when thou shalt take her, go into the chamber, and for 3 days keep thyself continent from her, and give thyself to nothing else but to prayers with her." So this verse tells us that married people who have sex for the sake of lust and recreation only are shutting out God from themselves. They're like dumb animals that don't have understanding. And this is what birth control does to us. It lowers us to the level of animals by shutting out God. Normally, I'd show you what the New American Bible translation of these verses are. Unfortunately, I can't. You see, for some reason, the New American Bible based its translation on a manuscript that was considerably different than the Vulgate. For the 6th chapter of Tobias, the Vulgate and the douay-rheims Bible have 22 verses, but the New American Bible only has 18. So, what verses are missing in this chapter of the New American Bible? Well, these pro-life verses in the douay-rheims Bible are missing. So, once again, if you're using a Bible to evangelize others and to speak out against birth control, the New American Bible isn't going to be of much use to you. And are there any other important verses in this chapter of Tobias that were left out by the NAB? Well, in the douay-rheims Bible, we read, "And when the night is past, thou shalt take the virgin with the fear of the Lord, moved rather for love of children than for lust, that in the seed of Abraham thou mayest obtain a blessing in children." So, Tobias will take his bride moved for love of children rather than for lust. And this verse supports the 1917 Code of Canon Law, which says the primary end of marriage is the procreation and education of children. Please note that there isn't a comparable law in the 1983 Code of Canon Law, and that's going to be a topic of a future video in a future playlist on the Code of Canon Law. But let's return to Tobias. How does the NAB translate this verse? Well, again, this is a missing verse in the New American Bible. Does it seem to you that the New American Bible isn't even particularly pro-life? But we're not even done discussing how the New American Bible has mangled Tobias. Let's move on to chapter 8. "Thou madest Adam of the slime of the earth, and gavest him Eve for a helper. And now, Lord, thou knowest that for not fleshly lust do I take my sister to wife, but only for the love of posterity, in which thy name may be blessed forever and ever. We should note that in this verse, sister is not used to indicate a woman who was born of the same mother as the man speaking. But again, this verse is consistent with traditional Catholic teaching that says that the primary end of marriage is the procreation of children and bringing them up for God. In the Douay-rheims Bible, in this chapter, there are 24 verses. In the New American Bible, there are only 14. So the comparable verse in the New American Bible says, "You made Adam, and you made Eve to be his helper and support. And from these two the human race has come. You said, it is not good for the man to be alone. Let us now make him a helper like himself. Now, not with lust, but with fidelity, I take this kinswoman as my wife. Send down your mercy on me and on her, and grant that we may grow old together. Bless us with children." So, in the Douay-rheims Bible, Tobias takes his love for the love of posterity, which signifies the begetting of children. In the New American Bible, Tobit takes his wife with fidelity. This is indicative of one of the problems with the post-conciliar church, where it places mutual love and support as the primary purpose of marriage, where historically the primary purpose of marriage was always for having children and bringing them up for God. Do you want to read the New American Bible when you know all of this? Do you want the readings and Gospels that are read at Mass to be based on the New American Bible? If not, please sign our petition, which is linked down below. And if you haven't shared the petition with others yet, please consider doing so. Well, I hope you enjoyed this installment. We'll be back again soon with another one. But in the meantime, please check out my Facebook page, which is also linked down below. Every day I post additional content that you don't find on this YouTube channel. And please, pray for the church.
I went into a home one day to see some friends of mine. Of all their books and magazines, not a Bible could I find. I asked them for the Bible. When they brought it, what a shame. For the dust was covered o'er it, not a fingerprint was plain.